Welcome to MCN and the Livewire S2 Del Mar. Now this is the second Livewire model to be produced. There's also a Livewire 1 which was originally branded as a Harley Davidson, but Livewire and Harley are separate now, even though they're the same company, but Livewire are concentrating on making the electric bikes. The Livewire 1, as it's known now, is one of MCN's favourite electric bikes, so we've got high hopes for the Del Mar. So let's have a little look and see what makes it tick. As you can see, the Livewire S2 Del Mar is flat track style with big old 19-inch wheels and tyres. Let's give you some electric stats. So the battery is a 10.5 kilowatt hour battery, and this big battery box with all the fins on it actually doubles up as the chassis. So it's a stress member. So on front of the battery box is a little subframe for the front end. You've got a subframe for the rear end. You've got the motor there, which the swinging arm bolts onto. So it's very tightly packaged. The Livewire 1 has actually got its motor running long ways in the bike, so it needs a gearbox. So it's a lot heavier. This is why this bike is so light. 198 kilos, which isn't bad for a roadster, even one with a petrol engine. The range from this battery, depending on how hard you ride it, you're going to get anything between kind of mid 40s and mid 80s miles to a single charge, and it's going to take about, the best is 78 minutes to get it from 20% to 80% on a level 2 charger. So there, the electric bits out of the way. Let's talk about the claim performance, because it is impressive. So 0 to 60, 3 seconds and 103 mile an hour top speed. But you're not really going to be wanting more than that anyway on a bike like this. 83 bhp, which again, it's not going to set the world alight. But what will set the world alight, and your world alight, is the amount of torque this bike's got. So it's got 194 pound-foot of torque, which is insane. So to put that into perspective, a ZX4RR that we've been riding recently has got 29 pound-foot, and that only weighs about 13-14 kilos less than this. It's very well spec'd. You've got 6 rider modes, traction control, ABS, cruise control, and it's really well built. You know, there's no sign of any cost cut in here. It is beautifully put together, and yeah, it goes a long way to justifying the price. It's got fully adjustable upside down forks. The single rear shock is adjustable for preload and rebound damping. You've got Brembo rear caliper. At the front you've got a single disc setup, 3mm disc with a Brembo 4-piston radial caliper. Full LEDs, adjustable levers on the brake, but of course there's no clutch and there's no gears. So what's it like to ride? Well, let's find out. We finished our day riding Livewire S2 Del Mar. We've done about 47 miles today on our ride. Been a mixture of riding through Barcelona at a pretty steady pace, a few open roads, and then some nice little mountain roads as well. And with that kind of level of riding and not ever really being that careful, we've come back with 29% range, and which equates to about 22 miles according to the dash. So kind of a full day's riding really, just on one charge. I mean, if you're Nick Sanders, you're not going to be interested in this bike, but you know, to kind of buzz around town and have a bit of fun out on the country roads, it's not the end of the world. So, you know, if we talk about the electric side of things first, obviously you need to make a decision if you would ever want to go down the electric route. You know, we all know the challenges when it comes to charging the bikes, finding chargers. The range might be a problem for some people, and obviously the price. This is almost £17,000, and electric bikes have come down a long way, but it's still a lot of money. But there's not many negatives with this bike, it's all positives, and you know, it's easily one of the best electric bikes I've ever ridden. there's few compromises. So okay, you don't get engine noise, which some people are going to miss. You don't get clutch and gears, which some people are going to miss. But other than that, wow, this bike is so smooth, so polished. It's just brilliant fun. I mean, riding through the city streets, you know, the bike's silent, obviously, which is really nice. It's stress-free. There's no gears or clutch to worry about, so it's as easy to ride as a scooter through town. And the throttle response is really nice. When you get on the open road, the thrust from that engine is insane. You just don't lack for any power. You can't use everything it's got. 194 foot-pound of torque is a lot of grunt coming away from traffic lights or coming out of corners. It is a very, very fast bike. I had a play around with the settings today. You can change the amount of power, how sensitive the throttle is, but also the regen. To begin with, the regen was on quite high, so there's a lot of engine braking, but I turned that down quite a lot just because I like using the back brake, and regen plus back brake doesn't work very well. But you know, after I made those settings, the bike just whooshes. It just gathers speed so easily, and it floats on a bed of air, really. It's just incredible. It's like a bullet train, just on a magnetic rail. It's just so smooth. You know, you can say that about a lot of electric bikes because electric motors are very smooth by their very nature. But the thing about the Livewire is just how together it is. You know, this feels like a proper, grown-up, developed, well thought out motorcycle. There's no clattering or crashing and banging as you go down the road. The bike feels very, very tight. The throttle's beautiful. The brakes are very progressive. Even though it's just a one disc setup, there's kind of more than enough power for what you need. The steering is beautiful. You know, the Dunlop tyres that are on it, the standard tyres are actually branded Livewire. They didn't give us any problems at all. The fact it's got 19-inch wheels didn't give us any problem. And when you're going through the corners, the fact you're not having to worry about clutch and gears, you can just get on with choosing the perfect line, and the bike just glides into the corners, off the throttle, smooth on the way out. It's absolutely heavenly. You know, a few years ago I got to ride the Moto E Energica around Valencia, and that's one of the best bikes I've ever ridden of any type. And this kind of comes close to that riding experience. It's just effortless. It's very hard to fault. The riding position is superb, you know, very, very roomy. You feel in complete control. The dash is really nice. You've got all the functions. You've got the safety of traction control. You can choose all these rider modes. You've got ABS. It's just tick, 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 tick. And, you know, you poke around the bike. The paint finishes are superb. The, you know, level of equipment. You've got Brembos on there. You've got adjustable suspension. Now, it's going to take a lot for the die-hard motorcycle fan to commit to riding an electric bike. And you know, already when we've been at the launch here today, I've done some social media updates, and you know, immediately people are talking about the range and all the disadvantages of electric, which is fair enough. But I would really implore, you know, anyone that's kind of half interested in going down the electric route to actually ride one of these bikes. And yes, it is different. You know, it doesn't have the involving nature of a motorcycle or the vibrations or the sounds, although it does have a little haptic pulse, as they call it. So when you're at a standstill at traffic lights, you can feel the engine just pulsing. I timed it with my watch. I think it's about 90 BPM, something like that. But anyway, I digress. You know, you are missing out of a lot of sensations with an electric bike, but I think, you know, they bring their own great bits to the party. You know, the fact they're so smooth, they just glide along, they're so easy to ride, and you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But I think this Livewire looks fantastic as well. Livewire going on tour with this bike, so if you go on their website and check out where it's going to be, try and get yourself a test ride. You know, I think you'll be impressed. It's a very, very impressive piece of kit. It's a proper motorcycle. It's not an electric toy. This is a really, really lovely bike to ride. And you know, if this is going to be the electric future, then you know, I don't think it's going to be too bad at all. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to our videos, and we'll see you on the next one soon.